I think I'll mail you a check to you. So you've been too kind. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I see a lot of familiar faces. And when I say familiar, I mean those I know up close and those I know from, on screen and etc. I thank you for making time to join us today. So Sunday, 25th November, marked the beginning of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. On that day, the world began a 16-day global campaign dubbed Orange the World, Hear Me Too. So, this is a period to amplify the voices of survivors of gender-based violence, as well as galvanize national support to ensure that there is appropriate response and action to ending sexual and gender-based violence and harmful practices. Today, as we mark the 5th day of the campaign, we also celebrate the International Women Human Rights Defenders Day by paying tribute to the thousands of people across the world who work tirelessly to defend the rights of women. Shall we please give all of them a round of applause? The issue of sexual and gender-based violence and harmful practices affects us all. And when I speak of SGBVs and HPs as we know them, as we call them, I'm not only talking about domestic violence, defilement, incest, and rape. It also includes female genital mutilation, child marriage, trafficking, and others. And when I say affects us all, maybe not directly, but we each know somebody who has a story to tell. And while SGBV and HPs affects many people globally in Ghana, it's our women and girls who are the most affected and vulnerable. I recently read an article titled, Women Are Most Unsafe at Home. Women are most unsafe at home, which was based on a recently published UN study. The statistics from this article are very worrying, and I know it's an evening of glamour and all of that, beautiful people, but I'll bore you with a few of the statistics. In 2017, globally, 87,000 women were intentionally killed deliberately by other people, with 58 of them, the deaths at the hands of intimate partners or family members. Now, after Asia, the largest number of women killed worldwide by intimate partners or family members was in Africa. The article also stated that there is severe underreporting of violence against women by family members, often because of the victim's economic or emotional dependency on the perpetrator. And we know this happens a lot. Sometimes you hear of cases, rape cases, and then they sort of bring their goat or something and then they let it go. Or maybe they don't want to bring shame to the family, so they'll say, let's hush and, pretend nothing happened. The article also stated that there was severe underreporting in Africa for the reasons that I've just mentioned. So imagine this, a cycle where women or a girl is being victimized over and over again with no option out of this unfortunate situation, or even a voice to speak out. Unfortunately, these cycles of violence continue in silence. So the article ended by highlighting that in order to combat issues of SGBV HPs, there must be more than changes, the obvious changes in policy. We also need a lot of education to go into it. There has to be a change in behavior. I say we're socialized to accept some of the harmful practices. As you saw in the video, for instance, the woman who's performing this FGM on the girl, she doesn't think she's harming the girl, she thinks she's protecting the girl from promiscuity or whatever it is that they believe in. So it is a lot of awareness and education that would change that. We must be deliberate in the way we influence these behaviors. And that's why your being here is very important tonight, because your advocacy is very important. The more you talk about it, the more you bring these issues to the fore, and the more people get to think about what they're doing and get to speak out because they see role models like yourself speaking out about it. So in Ghana, between 2000 and 2013, an estimated 177,840 cases of SGBV-HPs were reported to the DOVSU unit, which is the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit of the Ghana Police Service. Now, this is only a reported number, so we can imagine how many more there are because most of the cases go unreported. Coalition of People Against Sexual and Gender-Based Violence and Harmful Practices, COPASH, as Mii said, was established with the support of UNFPA. Really, the Secretariat is at UNFPA, so he's giving me a lot more credit than I probably deserve. And it's with these victims in mind that we brought COPASH to be, so that we can help them and support them. And in Ghana, there are many individuals and organizations working in various areas on this particular issue. So through COPASH, we've brought together individuals, institutions, and development partners who are passionate about the well-being of our women and girls to coordinate our efforts to advocate for better case management for SGBV and HPs. We also